Good morning, good day. Just happy to see the streaming chat messages. Yeah. You can just all take a moment to kind of gather here. Maybe savor a little sense of being in community together as the people gathering here in this online virtual space. So happy to be with you all, everyone. We're coming to the last morning or last day of this sequence that I've been hopefully taking you through as a sort of a nature guide, doing a nature within ourselves. And so this week we did opening to the aspect of earth elements grounding and enlivening through being with our breath and enriching our experiences by being with our emotions and thoughts. And then we also included spaciousness yesterday, kind of really like this mountain, inner mountain, a life mountain, surrounded by nature and the space. And so today we're coming to the piece of clarifying or seeing clearly, knowing clearly. Kind of have been preparing ourselves along the way. And so today we'll be going through the sequence, but then also open to clear seeing and clear knowing. And so, okay, we'll begin. Pausing to start. Start from where we are and start from how we are, just as it is. Releasing demands for things to be otherwise. Releasing expectations. Here and now. What is the felt sense of here, in this place, in this time? Feeling and sensing the global sense of a body, sitting, lying down, standing. However your posture is like. resting your attention to wherever the body makes a contact with the floor, earth, chairs, beds, sensing contact. Pressure, weight, temperature. Allow this earthy body resting into the contact. Maybe there is a sense of a resting down or resting back. Allow the contact to become as big as it likes to, or as deep as it likes to. A sense of a rootedness, grounded, steady, quiet, sitting like a quiet mountain within. Quiet breath, quiet aliveness. You may not have words for them, and that's totally okay. Sensing and feeling the quiet flow of the breath. Enlivening the whole body. It may be rhythmic, in and out, up and down. Or it may be not. A sense of a wonder and awe may come in. The movements of the emotions can enrich this very sense of being human. Sensing and feeling the spaciousness all around or within. Releasing stories, ideas, and conceptual overlays. Allow the knowing and the seeing to be emerging from the felt sense. Let each breath flow freely. Let each sensation dance freely. Let each thought float freely. So we've finished this Sutta, Samyutta Nikaya 22.101, that used the three similes of the sutta to highlight or kind of describe some overarching characteristics of the practice. And today, I feel like I have more to say about this sutta, and that is, I like to circle back to the opening statement of this sutta. And this is, let me read this line, that I say that the destruction of the taints is for one who knows and sees, not for one who does not know and does not see. And so this sense of knowing and seeing is a very important kind of aspect of our cultivation. Using the similes of the chicken and eggs and hatching and the ox handle being worn off and the rope that ties the ship rots away. And what they also offer is that this layers of beliefs, fixed ideas, and our conceptual overlays are shedded, are kind of put down or let go of. And when this happens, there is an increasing degrees of knowing and seeing little by little, and they become more and more available to us. And this kind of knowing and seeing is very different from reading the book and getting some sense. And that is one aspect of a knowing, but it's not the complete aspect of the knowing. And so when we're only counting on conceptual level of understanding and want to manage our way through the conceptual lenses, often we shut down so much of ourselves that can know, can see differently. The parts of ourselves that knows and sees don't always speak English or Chinese or Spanish, So, our body knows, maybe through the responses in the nerve systems or responses in our cellular kind of a feeling or in the movements of the breath. Our heart knows that may manifest as a certain kind of a felt sense in our heart space. And so much of our training is to begin to open to this wide range of ways of being human that is able to know and sense in this rich ways. When we allow this wide range way of knowing and then seeing, and things become more and more clear. And so today, I kind of wanted to bring yet another simile. This is a week of similes from the sutta. It's not from the same sutta, but I think it's relevant to this notion of knowing and seeing. And this sutta is from Majjhima Nikaya 39. It's a simile of a clear mountain lake. And I like to kind of expand a little bit because in order to get to a clear mountain lake, and I would imagine you have to kind of, get on a hiking trail and walk to get to the mountain lake. And so for me, this part, that was not actually, hiking and walking the mountain trail is not part of the sutta. But for me, it evokes something in me that is the person, in order to get to the clear mountain lake, has to take the path, has to walk, kind of like us having to practice, walk the Noble Eightfold Path. And as we engage in this, as we hike in these mountain trails, we put down a lot of preoccupations that we have in our mind about things we want to do or projects we need to manage, and we're more and more present on the trail, in the mountain trails. And maybe we'll have a sense of a slowing down, and maybe a sense of a life mountain comes in. And so the chatters in our mind might quiet down. And so that's the process of the practice also. We put down a lot of inner chatters or preoccupations. And when we get to the mountain lake, kind of our mind and heart feels more clear. I want to read to you this mountain lake simile here. It says, "Practitioners, it's like a lake in a mountain range, transparent, clear, and undisturbed. Standing on the shore, a person with eyes could see oysters, shells, stones, pebbles, and a fish moving about and holding still. That person would think, this is a transparent, clear, and undisturbed lake. Here there are oysters, shells, stones, pebbles, and a fish moving about and holding still. Practitioners, in the same way, a practitioner understands the dukkha as it is." And so on, it goes through all the Four Noble Truths. It knows this clearly, just like seeing through the clear, transparent, undisturbed mountain lake. Can see things moving around and see things without the filters that we put on, without the filters of our own judgments, beliefs, and without all the reactivities that may be operating. And so that becomes available and possible to us. And one thing I'd like to highlight that in the sutta that we went through this week, that we know that this seeing and knowing becomes available to us naturally when the kind of stings faded away. And also, I'd like to say that the clarity, a sense of being really clear, they don't have to come all at once. It's not like a big bang, kind of big switch or something that you just turn on, but rather the felt sense with the similes and this hiking the mountain trail, the mind gets more and more clear. It feels more, at least to me, it feels more like things become increasingly clear little by little by little, and gradually. And so for most of us, that's the process of our practice. It's a gradual process. Little by little, we're less caught by the habitual reactivities, or little by little, that we began to experience a kind of a well-being or joy to whatever degree that may be available to us. And little by little, we're chipping away the tendencies, underlying tendencies. And I would also say that for most of us, that there are also times that the things get very, very difficult. And the invitation is that we practice with a kind and compassionate heart as best as we are able. And this phrase, as best as we are able, is very important, because that's the truth of how we can practice. We can't practice more than what we're able. And surely we'll get lost on the path. And whenever we're able, we come back. And period. We come back, that's it. Releasing kind of blaming, judging, shaming, criticizing. We know those are just extra burden that we had to carry. And so even though I'm using this mountain hike as a way to illustrate this, but the path we're undertaking is an inner path. In fact, so much of the training is about us staying where we are, how we are right here. And we stop trying to fix ourselves up and fix others. And so we make ourselves available to different possibilities. I'd like to end with a quote from Wendellberry. And this says, "The world cannot be discovered by a journey of miles, no matter how long, but only by a spiritual journey, a journey of 1 inch, very arduous and humbling and joyful, by which we arrive at the ground at our feet and learn to be at home." Thank you, dear Sangha. May we all learn to be at home.